Alright, I've got like so many freaking videos on my channel and stuff, and I do so many tangents. The thing is that, I'm fairly certain that I recognize what China has been trying to do for the last little bit, and what it comes down to is BRICS. BRICS. Bravo, Romeo, India, Charlie, Sierra. And it stands for Brazil, Russia, India, China, and I forget the S. I believe it's South Africa. And what it comes down to is this move towards breaking away from the global currency, which is essentially the petrodollar, OPEC. And the thing is that China doesn't want to do any war with any fiscal war with the United States. And what it essentially has done is they've been doing a trade war and whatnot, which is part of the reason why China is taking a page out of Britain's doctrine, which is why they're colonizing Africa, and they are commandeering natural resources, which is extremely scary because sanctions can be put on China, its country, but to impose sanctions on its colonies is very, that just creates a new, it's new jurisdiction, and believe me, I understand that jurisdictions, and I'm not too sure in the order that I'm going to record these, or going to post these videos. But what it comes down to is that I understand a little bit about jurisdiction. I'm learning about jurisdictions and such, and I'm missing this light. If basically what Trump is doing right now is going to war with the world, with these tariffs and these pardon me, with these policies that he's created and whatnot. And the last thing that we need to do is go into any other sort of war, especially the trade war with China. And the fact is that technology is getting to the point in certain areas is beyond the point where it's able to replace Chinese workers, which is part of the reason why China is making these moves, because they understand in technological developments. What these technological developments do is replace the labor force, and China has been the labor force of the entire world for several decades. And the thing is that a lot of these politicians are in an old world mindset, and they're not able to adapt to the changes of our economy due to the fact that the changes to our economy are happening faster than a lot of people can actually comprehend. And essentially, what I want to say is that the governments and businesses have reached the singularity of technological development. What that means is that we're at the point where technology is only going to it's going to start advancing on itself rather than the implementation of a human thought. Sounds really crazy. It sounds absolutely bizarre. I know this. But it's pretty much a fact. And we're in the early phases of it. How are we going to do anything about this? How is America going to provide an economy for its people? And manufacturing, that's where there's mass production. There's a lot of technology development in those areas. But the thing is that we need, America needs to become the breadbasket of the entire world, because we have the land, the natural resources, and the policies. And what we need to stop, because we're really not exporting very much. And the main reason why we're keeping our economy afloat is due to the fact that we keep on increasing our military spending. We're basically using the 19th century model for our economy, because we've seen substantial growth through the industrialized war of World War I, and especially in the industrialized war of World War II. The thing is, the Korean War, the Forgotten War, that didn't really pan out too well. And most of the reasoning for that is because we were trying to lead a war based on policy. Then Vietnam happened, and we created an industrialized war on policy. And that didn't work out too well, which is part of the reason why we have smart bombs. And essentially, these were dumb bombs that were fitted with new technology to create guidance systems. We're still using Vietnam munitions in our current wars. We tried doing that with the Gulf War. And, well, with the Gulf War, we are trying to, well, basically what it comes down to is that we're protecting nations in the Middle East. We are protecting nations in the Middle East that held our best interest in hand. Iraq, Iran. Two strongholds in the Middle East. And Turkey is a pretty close ally. Well, Turkey is its own. But what it comes down to is I'm sorry that I actually just got tongue-tied for a minute, because I'm trying not to go on too many other tangents. We're in perpetual war. That's all. And the thing is that the war is starting to turn onto the home front. And what we can see with the Facebook situation. Obviously, they've been privy to a lot of information. The third largest internet-based corporation. I'm pretty certain Google is number 1 and Amazon is number 2. However, pardon me, I almost want to say Amazon is above Google in certain aspects, but it's tip for tat with those two. They're basically both at the same level, in my opinion. And the thing is that they work so well based on the Facebook. What we have is the most intense people search in the entire world. Entire world, which is Facebook. All the information is broadcasted upon the web, which goes to Google. And then that information is disseminated to Amazon, which is why we get ad-specific results. I'm on a tangent, and I'm not getting, I've lost my initial point about the trade war and whatnot. And so cryptocurrency. It's pretty crazy that a lot of the reason why Bitcoin, for instance, has fallen is due to the fact that this Chinese created currency. And it is going to fail. Not that detrimentally. Like, it's going to hold a certain value in things. And this thought is going to change. There is no, I'm still researching these things, but, that's part of the whole thing is that, cryptocurrency is, Bitcoin is the main one. And there's Ethereum, Litecoin, and I think a couple other ones and stuff. And, because they don't have the same steam, and whatnot. And, it goes back into the trade war. And I'm more than certain that a lot of people that got into these cryptocurrencies, they got in, got out because, it's actually kind of crazy because I was talking to an individual today. And he has a past, and I got a certain amount, and we were talking about ethical drug dealers, like what makes a drug dealer ethical and whatnot. And what I was made aware of is I hadn't really thought about it too much. What makes an ethical drug dealer? What makes an ethical business? Essentially, a drug dealer is an entrepreneur, and I support local businesses. I support small businesses. I mean, prostitutes, hey, they're a small business. I've bought a prostitute at least once. That's a rite of passage. And you know what? Things happen, right? Anyways, what makes an ethical business? Doesn't matter if it's selling drugs or selling freaking ponies. What makes a good business? And the thing is, you get in and get out. You have good customers, and certain things may not be ethical or whatever else, but I mean, honestly, this goes to, maybe I shouldn't even actually start speaking about this because I'm still trying to gather my thoughts, but I'm trying to be as real as possible with you because I just went through this real situation. And basically what the drug dealer in a bad business, and Enron, for instance, What makes them any different from a drug dealer? Some people's drug is money. Right? Some people's drug is food. Some people's drug, ultimately the drug is greed. I want to feel good. And this makes me feel good. And that's why any good business practitioner, they don't sell products. They sell feelings. Politicians, they don't ask permission from the public. What they do is they entrance the public with a thought. Typically, fear, terror. And it gets people to start thinking because they keep on, using these words, these triggering words. And before the public realizes it, the politicians already got it because the people are asking for security. Well, I'm a politician. I can answer that security problem. In a heartbeat. In a heartbeat. I can answer a question in a heartbeat. And, yeah. What's that actually got to do? And so the public starts asking for it, and it's like, okay. And, so all of a sudden we got these, policy changes. And, hey, we're safe. But ultimately we're not. And that's what's, scary about things. Which is why these, these new, practices that are going in place, are, very scary and whatnot, because the politicians, they're not working for us. They're all bought. Who pays for security? Well, it's pretty crazy that, there's all this money going towards the government or towards the military for public safety and this, that, and the other. And they're slowly stripping away our rights. And the thing is, I still need to do some research on this one, but at least from what I found out, loosely found out, not quoted me, what it comes down to is that these, all that stuff that Trump said, no one even had a chance to read it. No one even had a chance to read it, right? But apparently there's some loopholes in people's privacy going on. And you know what's in the cloud? Some of those servers are overseas, and so what happens here in the States, it falls out of jurisdiction. You see? Full circle, I'm talking about jurisdiction. Aside, I was supposed to be talking about the trade war with China, but, the trade war with China, we just need to produce food. We need to melt our weapons and turn them into shovels and plowshares. That's how we're going to win every single conflict. Is with food, water, clothing, shelter. The fundamentals of life. It's not going to be with a freaking gun to the goddamn head. That's the least responsible way of handling any conflict, is to put a gun at somebody's head. Maybe I'm going on my own soapbox to demonstrate freaking my passion and beliefs, and how if I were in charge, the last thing I would do is point a weapon at anybody. In fact, all of our nuclear weapons I've already said this before, and I'll say it again. I would aim towards Antarctica and the North Pole. You want to fuck with America? Fine, fuck with us. But, and try and take us over. And when push comes to shove, okay, you take us over. It's alright. We're turning Antarctica and the North Pole into a puddle. See what happens. We're dead. We don't care. That's the suicide button. That is wearing the vest and being in control of the bomb. Fuck with me. And that's why I'm feared. I'm the man with the bomb. Peace.